All right, welcome to another episode here. Rocky Mountain season 4. Just finished a trip to Wyoming and Wyoming and Montana. Went to, again, like I said, Glacier National Park. Went to Yellowstone and went to the Grand Tetons. And I tell you, I barely skimmed the surface, as always. I could spend weeks out here exploring in May. In other future trips for sure. By the way, I started thinking maybe my next challenge should be 63 at 63. 63 national parks while I'm 63 years old. That would be a challenge. That would be a full-time endeavor. And it might be. I don't know. Got to get through this one first. So anyway, we're heading off into, I don't even know what state this is for me. Maybe my 20th state on this trip. Going to Idaho. I wanted to go to a place called Sandpoint in Idaho, but I'm staying in Bonners Ferry, I believe it is, which is north of there. Inspired to go there from, I'll put a link to her channel, Alice Ford, who I met in person at the TravelCon event that I went to. Her videos are really good. But anyway, she did a bunch of bed and breakfasts, and I was inspired to go to one that she had shared. I think it's an old schoolhouse. We're going there tonight, and I may stay at one that she recommended in Wallace called the Ryan Hotel, which is kind of a bed and breakfast. Anyway, I am going to hit the road now. It's just back to me. Solo travel. All right, let's hit the road. I'm in Whitefish. Look at this cute little town. Whitefish. Town called Whitefish. Oh my gosh, what a cute little town, Whitefish. Who knew? I'm going to make a generalization here because I seem to be doing that on a regular basis, and I think I'm fairly good at it. Everybody seems to be really in shape here, and it's a very vibrant little town. Whitefish. Who knew? Whitefish, Montana. Deer. Middle of the day. Whitefish Lake. So again, I don't know anything about this town. I don't know if it's seasonal. I don't know if this lake freezes. I do know that it's pretty. There's a lot of picnic tables here around the base part of the lake. I'm going to kind of drive around as far as I can. I'd love to see these lakeside views. Anyway, Whitefish. Whitefish, Montana. You know, sometimes I wander into these places and think to myself, yep, I could live here. From what I've seen, this is one of them. Although I bet it gets pretty cold here. It's so gorgeous. It's peaceful here. Except for the Saturday picnic noise. There's houses that seem to go almost the whole way around the lake, as you can see over here. Got to get out of Montana though. Heading to Idaho. Get this house up here behind me. So if I haven't filled you in, here's a little bit more about Lake Whitefish.
Well, to start off, Whitefish Lake is nestled in the heart of northwest Montana, pretty much known for its stunning mountain backdrop and crystal clear waters. Located just outside of the town of Whitefish, this 3,300-acre lake offers year-round recreational opportunities like boating, and fishing in the summer to ice fishing and cross-country skiing in the winter. Couple of fun facts. The lake was actually formed thousands of years ago by retreating glaciers, and its waters are continually fed by surrounding snowmelt from the Whitefish Range. You'll notice from some of this kind of shaky footage, but from a guy named Tim Yonkers on YouTube, I didn't realize there was so much skiing in this area. I think if I was there a couple more days, I would have explored this area and done a little bit of hiking. Looks like a place I want to visit again for sure. Anyway, anglers often come here in search of lake trout and northern pike, while locals and visitors alike enjoy the Whitefish City Beach. The beach I was on, actually. It's a perfect spot to take in breathtaking sunsets as well. Whether you're exploring the surrounding Flathead Valley or simply soaking in the pristine beauty of Montana's wilderness, Whitefish Lake is a perfect blend of adventure and serenity. Of course, I reached out to ChatGPT for that lame deal. I didn't really give you too much information. I will say one thing that's kind of cool is there is an Amtrak station in Whitefish. As you can see here, this is a little footage from a channel called Unforgettable Travel Destinations, and they document the journey from Portland to Whitefish. Again, that's another train line I'd love to explore someday, that Empire Line. It's up on the north end of the country. I guess that's all I got for now. I'm sure it's pretty cold there. In fact, let me check the weather there right now. I'm editing this video in February 3rd. Actually, yesterday, the groundhog saw its shadow, so we're looking at 6 more weeks of winter, I guess. Anyway, let's look up this temperature. Stand by. Alright, Whitefish, Montana right now is 11 degrees. It says it's cloudy and it feels like -2. Daily forecast for the next 5 days or so has it snowing 2 out of the 5 days and not really breaking 26 degrees. Wow. I guess there's some ice fishing going on. And perhaps some skiing. Anyway, back to my lame little story.
2 of them. So I've been riding down this, or parallel to this Lake Cuckoo or Cuckoo something or other. Stop here for a picnic. I mean, what an amazing. First of all, I came around the corner from this lake. I would say, I don't know, a half hour ago, and I have been on this. Well, I was rambling on so much I actually bored myself. Let's start out with a couple of things here. One, let's get the pronunciation right. We're talking about Lake Koocanusa, and the forest here is the Kootenai National Forest. There's something special about finding yourself alone on the road, just you, the mountains, and the hum of the engine. Highway 37 runs from Wexford through Yarnell to Libby. On my right side was Lake Koocanusa. Beyond the lake, on the other side, the deep forests of the Kootenai National Forest. Out here, it feels like you're the last person on Earth. Or maybe the first. A quiet stretch to think and ponder. Well, a few fun facts here. Lake Koocanusa gets its name from Kootenai, Canada, and the USA. Since this massive reservoir spans both countries, the lake was created in the 1970s when the Libby Dam was built, holding back the Kootenai River.
Historically, this region has thrived on timber and mining. Well, if you're thinking about making a home here, know this. Winters can be long and harsh, with snowfall averaging, get this, over 50 inches a year. But if you love seasons, the summers are mild and beautiful, perfect for hiking, fishing, and endless lake days. The population? Small. The views? Massive. One thing's for sure, if you want solitude, this road delivers. Well, I hope you enjoyed this ride with me. After this, it's off to Bonners Ferry. And that is, finally, in Idaho.
Arrived. Staying at a bed and breakfast here in Bonners Ferry. Let's check this place out. So the proprietor gave me a really cool tour of this place. I'll take you around a little bit later and show you the breakfast area and whatnot. But this is my room here. Used to be the principal's office. It's now called the music room. Check this out. Beautiful view out there. She said we get deer out here. I'm about 15 minutes away from a wildlife place that I'm going to go to next. Cool. And then bathrooms in here. Love it. So I'm on this wildlife refuge car loop. A couple of bikes ahead of me. You could take bikes in this thing. I haven't seen anything yet. There's supposed to be some birds out here. I saw a bald eagle on the way in. Thousands of geese. And, hold on. I'm going to ask these people if they've seen anything. So it was a family on their bikes. They said that they, I'm getting texts here. Unfortunately, I have cell service. I guess there's a lot of waterfowl. They told me there's a big spider web around the corner. You see a lot more when you're on a bike. Little girl on the bike said Bambi and her mother are out here. Might be up here around the corner. It's a nice drive anyway. Well, the clouds are awesome. I'll give you that much. It's raining again. I see the lone. I swear to God there was a goose. Unless it's a decoy. He's in the exact same spot when I drove by. There's a few more in the field. I saw a bald eagle. That was pretty cool. Didn't see much else. 4.5 mile loop. I got out to photograph a waterfall but never really made it. I was on a trail, had bear spray with me. I walked for like a mile or so. I didn't see a waterfall. Maybe I went the wrong way. And then I chickened out. It's kind of weird being on a trail by yourself when you're in bear country. Although there's a really good chance there are no bears around here anywhere. They tell me there are. I think everybody's in on it. And I think it's got to be a goose decoy. Anyway, that could be it for tonight, you know? I don't really think there's too much more happening. I'm going to go grab some dinner and try to get a good night's sleep. There's a lot of waterfalls around here. I think tomorrow will be a morning for capturing waterfalls on the way to my next location as I explore Idaho a little bit. At least that's the plan. So, you pay attention to the road. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, good morning. This is the second time doing this. I realized the last time I did it, I was out of focus. So here we go. I just wanted to come in and just, first off, give a hats off thank you to Miss Alice Ford, who did an episode of travel here in the northern Idaho area. And I would have never found this place if it wasn't for her. So here's a little clip from her video, by the way.
I had a great night in the wagon and woke up feeling refreshed and ready for something fun.
I'm staying in a place called the, pretty nice if I had the name, wouldn't it? Anyway, it was an old school. It's here in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. And again, this used to be a school. It's got an amazing history to it. In fact, I was at dinner last night, and I'm looking through one of the local, guides, and there was a whole 2-page spread on this place, and I read a little bit about it. In fact, I'll share a little bit now. So anyway, this used to be an old school, and it's got an amazing history to it. And, it's the kind of thing you don't get when you stay at, Best Western or Holiday Inn Express. Not knocking them places. They have their place for the traveler, for the weary traveler. They're comfortable and clean, but I really like these unique places. And as my 50th, 60 year unfolds, I appreciate these kind of places more and more, and now seek out to find them. So again, thank you, Alice, for sharing your video on this place, because I would have never found this place, I don't think. And I might actually stay at another one you recommended called the Ryan Inn in Wallace. It's kind of my next stop before heading to Bozeman. And then in the shower this morning, I thought about a third unique, cool place to stay. It kind of bookends this trip. Thinking about it. So if that happens, you'll be the first to know, because I'll probably do a deeper dive into that place as well. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, I'm in the music room here, number 1. Apparently, this used to be the principal's office. It's turned into, theme-wise, the music room. They have like an art room and a world studies room. So I've essentially been sent to the principal's office, whatever that means. Anyway, I'm going to go have some breakfast, because that's what a bed and breakfast is all about, breakfast. I'm going to enjoy that now. And I think I'm going to photograph some waterfalls today. Had a short conversation with the proprietor when I checked in. She gave me a quick tour of the whole place, a little bit of the history, and her place in it and her family's. But anyway, she gave me a list of some waterfalls around this area, and as you know, I love to photograph waterfalls, so that might be on the agenda today. So go have some breakfast. Let's get this day started. Like I had mentioned, maybe not, I'm in the principal's office. I know that sounds kind of weird, but literally in the principal's office. I'm in a bed and breakfast, and a room called the music room. And apparently this used to be the principal's office when this was a real school. It's a place called the North Side Bed and Breakfast here in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. And before I get going, I'm a little behind on all my editing. Not behind. The releasing of my videos right now, I just released I got them coming out twice a week. And I'm on episode 19, which was in Alaska, and that was in May, and it's August now. So I've got a bunch more videos I have to do. Anyway, I realize now I'm in my 4th, we're going to call them seasons like I'm Anthony Bourdain here. Anyway, with all 19 people watching these. And I could have done some better framing here with the light, huh? So I was on my own, obviously, when I was traveling up there. I just finished out the first couple of states on this segment of this season in some really gorgeous areas, similar to where I was in episode 19, Alaska, in Seward, Alaska. I was in Glacier National Park, Yellowstone, and the Grand Tetons. Some of the most beautiful areas I've ever been to personally. And I don't know if I have good footage from there. And I was kind of beating myself up as I was watching. I was previewing my video that just went live today, looking for glitches and kind of reliving my own journey, which I guess that's what these videos are all about. And I hope they inspire you again to get out and see part of the world and maybe, use it as a building block to maybe, if I'm talking to somebody as I'm traveling or I'm showing you a site, you're inspired to go there and maybe make it a better place, share your story. So what I was trying to say is beat myself up that I don't think I have good stories, but I never really know till I go back and start editing these things and crafting them together. And if I don't, I'll have to go back and, maybe do some narration, do a little bit more research and add to it. And that's the beauty of creating something is I want to release something that's valuable to somebody and tell some, well, I'm getting long-winded here. What I was trying to say is I was with family. It means more to me than just, maybe telling the story of my solo travel. But I don't know if I'll be able to express that because I don't think I recorded it enough. We'll see. I don't know. I really don't know because, again, I'm far from editing those videos. I just want to say that, these videos aside, I'll remember that month probably more than any of this. Whether I shared in the video or not, I had a fantastic time traveling with my daughter and also my ex-wife and showing them both some beautiful places in this country that, they haven't seen. And I don't know if they'll ever see again. And I hope they enjoyed it. They did both express that they enjoyed it. And I think we had a good time. And again, if I haven't captured much footage, the footage is already here. It's already in my heart and up here. Anyway, I hope I express the beauty of those places in videos to come. So anyway, I'm about to go out and experience more memories and experiences on my own here. And head down to, like I said, I think Wallace. There's a really cool bike ride I might take. And then, I think I talked about all this morning. Anyway, let's go get the stuff together. Get out of here. It's time to hit the road. I just finished shooting some B-roll of this place, and it's kind of a weird feeling. You get in your car and you leave, and it's a cool little place here. Highly recommended. If you're driving in northern Idaho, the people were so gracious. The rooms are unique. I stayed in the music room, principal's office. Try the rooms upstairs. So a bunch of places to stay here. But I'm about to go see some animals, I hope. Going on the refuge drive here. Forget the name of it. Of course, I'll put it right here. And let's see if we can't see something. At least we'll see a waterfall. And hopefully not a bear. All right, let's go.
Might seem like an odd place to come in as an editor now and chop the story up, but this thing's gone on long enough. And the cat wants to get involved. What do you want to play? So anyway, I've got a ton of footage I got to go through from this waterfall shoot and the rest of the day. think it's going to be another episode for that. By the way, it's February now in 2025, and I'm finally editing these stories. That leads me to believe I'm going to be editing these stories for probably the next year, the rate I'm going. Couple things I talked about the room I was in. I meant to share a photo that I captured. I always like to photograph the rooms when I'm there. This is a quick shot of the refuge area I was talking about. I didn't really see any animals there, but I did mention that I saw an eagle on the way in. And I have to be honest with you, it's the first and only eagle I've ever seen in the wild. So I got a couple of shots of him. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. I've got a lot of footage to go through on my way to capture it was a half-assed waterfall excursion, which you'll see next week. And I stopped by a couple of places on the way down to Wallace, went around Sandpoint, and I had a lot to say, so we'll leave that for another episode. Thanks for checking it out. I'll see you in the next one. Really appreciate you being here. I'll see you next week. More on all this later.